Nicholas and Austin to come lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amy, can you read the open public meeting statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Roxbury was given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act as follows. On December 31st, 2024, notice was emailed and faxed to the Daily Record, the North Star Ledger, the West Morris Reporter, and published in the Daily Record. Notice shall also remain posted throughout the year on the bulletin board and the main hallway of the municipal building.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht. Here. Councilman Carey.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Here.
Councilman DiFilippo. Councilman Hall.
I'm here.
Councilman Riley.
Here.
Mayor Patillo.
Here. Brings us item 4, presentations, award, etc. Tonight we have 2 Eagle Scouts with us. And it's always a great night when we get them to come in and be recognized here and talk about the hard work that they put in to obtain this level of scouting. So I'm going to ask both Nicholas and Austin to come up, and you guys can just tell us a little bit about your project.
So my project was at the St. Elizabeth Nancy Church in Flanders, which is just down the road basically. I installed a path to a bell that's been there since when I was a kid. It was always wet, so now when the kids go there, their feet will be dry when they ring the bell. I also redid power washed a front walkway, and I installed new river rocks and painted benches, and really refreshed the facade of the church.
I placed 20 signposts down next to Franklin Elementary School along the pathway that runs alongside the school. The school now uses those to have book pages for the students to walk down the path during recess or teacher life.
Excellent. Good job. I met with Austin yesterday at St. Elizabeth and saw the work that he did, and I commend you for doing such a great job. The workmanship and the leadership that it took to do that, it really brightened the church's entrance. So thank you, and I'm going to meet with Nick on Friday and check out his project as well. So I'm excited to see that. We have certificates for you. Deputy Mayor, if you wouldn't mind. We'll stand over here. Close one. Come on. You want to go by the flags? Right here is fine? Yeah, I'd say right here is fine. There, you go on one side, we'll go on the other side. Good? Great job. Congratulations. Great job. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Receiving that certificate means you guys have to stay for the rest of the meeting. What? Yes, I did see that.
For the budget.
All right, moving on to item 5, approval of minutes, April 8th, 2025. Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Councilwoman Albrecht. Yes. Councilman Carey.
I'm going to abstain. I think I missed that meeting.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. This brings us to our first public portion. Does anybody in the public wish to be heard on any topic? Please come to the microphone. State your name and address for the record. Seeing none, I'll close public. Brings us to reports, council liaison, representative council committees, new and old business. Councilman Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. Happy Earth Day, everybody. We have, from a recreation perspective, we're having a lifeguard certification at Lake, at Horseshoe Lake this Saturday. So if you're in the area, you can go and see that. It's sponsored by the American Red Cross. We have our annual lacrosse festival. It's going to be about 100 teams at Horseshoe Lake this weekend for that. A couple Saturdays ago, we did our annual street cleanup at the Triple Lakes area, Roxbury. That's just off of Route 10. Kind of rainy, kind of awful, but we still got quite a bit of garbage out of there. This is the one this isn't the town one, this is the one that's co-sponsored by the Environmental Commission and the Rare Headquarters. So for the people that came out for that, thank you very much. It was a lot cleaned up. We had our tree giveaway, which was very successful. We had 400 seedlings that we handed out to the public at no charge at all. Again, this was an effort that was co-sponsored by both Roxbury Recreation and the Environmental Commission. So very successful there also for that tree giveaway. We had in another affordable housing meeting. I'm just going to let Jim take care of this one. He can explain what we are as far as that's concerned. We're spending just a tremendous amount of time with that, trying to help out our current situation. What else do I have here? And a big thank you to the fire department for inviting us to the annual fireman center. You know, the township is very fortunate to have you guys. We really appreciate all the work you're doing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Auburn.
Not too much for me today. I do want to say I confirmed that the mobile motor vehicle unit will be coming to Roxbury on May the 22nd. Appointments will be opening up on April the 25th at 10 a.m. They will go very fast. So there's that. And this has taken a year to get them to come here, so I'm very pleased. And also a lot's going on May the 3rd, one of which is a repair cafe hosted by the library, and that's going to take place at Roxbury Fire Company 2 between 11 and 3. You can go to the Roxbury website, Roxbury Library's website, to find out more information. And also that day is the Pathways of History tour, and our incline plane is getting dedicated. So there's a lot going on May the 3rd, and our senior citizen dance later that day. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Thank you, Mayor. We did have an EDC meeting this evening. I attended the Lake Commission meeting. They're getting ready now to start weed harvesting. I also attended, and I want to thank the Senator, New Jersey NJEDA put aside $5 million for the businesses that are being affected by the Route 80 slowdown. They had a meeting in Ward that I attended last week. They had a great presentation of how and what information you needed to go ahead and to put in for some of that money. That did open on yesterday at 10 a.m. They're doing it by zip codes, and our zip codes are in the first tier, and so we're looking at getting that money. And I went around to quite a few businesses telling them, work on your login so you can log in Monday at 10 a.m. because that's when you get your spot, and then keep that spot as you get your documentation together. Unbelievably organized for something so fast for the state to do, Tony. It was a fantastic job. They all knew what they were doing. The lady that gave the presentation was 100% into understanding what people are looking for, what kind of problems there may be. So hopefully that's done well. I've talked to a couple of the businesses in town today that did do it, and they said yes, they were able to log in and get through it. So
166 applications by 5 o'clock tonight.
great. And if you go around, I'll just tell you, shop local, use these businesses because they are hurting. Local people are not going out because of all the traffic, and that's hurting their business. And we want to keep every business in town that we can.
businesses that need to find that.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councilman Riley?
Yeah, as Fred mentioned, we had a call meeting last week, we have another one next week. We have to have our numbers decided by the end of June, correct? Anthony?
That is correct.
So it's moving quickly. We're looking at properties and, credits where we can get them and, so we can meet the intent of the law that they passed, last year that really put a huge impact on municipalities as a whole. Last weekend, we had, the fireman's dinner, with the honor of the past chief, as he steps down. It was very nicely done. And I think that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Carey?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just two quick things. They have the next Board of Education meeting on April the 28th, and coffee and conversation with the superintendent will be April 29th at Mason Elementary Media Center at 7 p.m.
Thank you, Councilman Carey. You have one more thing, Councilman Riley?
Yeah, John, the COA meeting next week, that's a Zoom option for those who can't attend. We're gonna be here though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just have a few quick things. One, I'd like to thank the chiefs for the invitation and the bouquet of flowers last week. That was very nice of you guys. This weekend, the Roxbury, the Township Clean Communities event was rescheduled due to rain. I think it's supposed to rain again this week, but it was rescheduled for snow. It was for snow. So they rescheduled for this weekend. Kellyanne Keys, reach out to her if you're interested in helping out with that. And then tomorrow night, we have our volunteers dinner for mayor and council appointed volunteers that, along with all of our volunteers here in Roxbury, help make our township run as well as it does. So it's always a great night to be able to recognize those people that volunteer their time for Roxbury Township. That's all I have. Anything from you, Amy?
Nothing, thank you.
Senator?
All is well.
John?
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. That moves us to item 8, matters requested referred by council members, manager, attorney, clerk. We have one request to waive requirements for garage sale permits for residents participating in the township garage sale on Saturday, June 21st, 2025, and Sunday, June 22nd, 2025. Any discussion on that?
We grant this every year. I don't see why we wouldn't. You made an motion on it, or?
I just take a voice. Amy, leave a voter as long as no one has any concerns, we're fine.
Good. Like, so there's no concerns.
Bring it to your attention.
No concerns?
Thank
No
you.
concern. Great job. That's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Moving on to item 9, adoption of 2025 municipal budget, 2025-101, a resolution to adopt the 2025 budget. John?
Mayor, Council, if I can just read the pertinent section of the resolution for the budget tonight. Be it resolved by the council members of the Township of Roxbury, County of Morris, that the budget herein before set forth is hereby adopted and shall constitute an appropriation for the purposes stated of the sums therein set forth as appropriations, and authorize the amount of as follows. For municipal purposes, $23,066,204, and for open space, recreation, farmland, and historic preservation trust fund levy, $435,889, and for the library tax, the minimum library tax, $1,657,254. Thank you.
I'll move it. Second. Thank you. We have Jim and Tom. Any discussion on the budget?
We previously talked about it, but I feel it's a very responsible budget. It includes no tax increase for this year for the residents on the municipal side. And, I'm happy, I think we put together a good work product along with our staff. Thank you.
I mimic what Councilman Riley said. It's a responsible budget, and a lot of time and energy went into it from all parts, and I thank everybody for the time that's spent on that. So thank you. Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Introduction of proposed ordinance, we have 0625, an ordinance to amend and supplement chapter 7 traffic of the revised general ordinance of the Township of Roxbury, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and establishing a no parking zone on the west side of Richards Avenue.
Make the motion to introduce.
I'll second for sake of discussion.
All right, we have a motion, a second. Discussion? Roll call?
Did you want to have a discussion first?
It's just, okay, I don't remember hearing anything about this part, so where did this materialize from, and why we're doing it?
This particular issue came from a resident concern about parking in this particular location. We had this in front of the traffic committee, we met, I think it was about a month ago now. And it came out of the traffic committee, recommendation, after the police also looked at it, and recommended that no parking zone for that specific, area. It's only because of close proximity to Route 10 and, problems getting through the intersection, safely.
Okay, I think we're gonna have an ordinance on, I think we should be brought up at some point in time before it's on the agenda.
Well, it was provided to council. It's an update to the traffic committee meeting probably a month ago. Everybody received that. I didn't receive any questions on it. Assumed that there was no questions, we were okay to go forward with this, considering it was the committee's recommendation to do that. But we certainly can hold on to that if there needs to be more discussion in advance.
No, it doesn't sound major in principle, it's just, I like to see it before.
Any further discussion?
Okay,
Roll call.
the second reading is May 14th.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Albrecht. Yes. Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. That brings us to hearing and adoption of ordinance on second reading. First one, 03-25, capital ordinance to authorize the making of various public improvements and acquisition of new, additional, or replacement equipment and machinery, new information technology equipment, and new automotive vehicles by and for the Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, State of New Jersey, and to appropriate the sum of $3,943,000 from various grants, open space trusts, and the capital improvement fund on the township to pay the cost thereof. Can I have a motion to open this to public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, does anybody have any comments on this ordinance alone, 03-25? Close public.
Second.
A motion to adopt,
So moved. Second.
roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Moving on to the second reading for 04-25. Capital ordinance of the Township of Roxbury, the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the making of various water system improvements and the acquisition of new automotive vehicles including original apparatus and equipment in and by and for the water utility of the township, appropriate therefore the sum of $202,000 from the water utility capital improvement fund of the township.
Move to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor? Anybody in the public wish to comment on this ordinance 04-25?
Move to close the public.
Second.
All in favor? Move to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. And our third one, 0525, capital ordinance of the Township of Roxbury in the County of Morris, New Jersey, authorizing the making of various sanitary sewer system improvements in and by and for the sewer utility of the township, appropriating therefore the sum of $1,154,000 from the sewer utility capital improvement fund of the township.
Open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to make a comment on this ordinance? Maintenance 0525.
Move to close the public.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Item 12, introduction and adoption of resolutions.
Mayor, if I may introduce, move. One second, please. 025-102 includes 025-103 through 2025-113.
And a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? I just have a question, John. 104, the agreement. We're listing what it was. I'm sorry, we're listing what we're charging a day now. Do we know what it was?
I think the agreement dates from 2002. It was significantly lower. I'm gonna say over the years, it was informally changed. It was more than it was in 2002. It just wasn't on paper. So it's significantly different what it was back in 2002 on paper.
And it's, I'm assuming better than what it was in 24, the old contract?
It is. We looked at it again. Steve Sinise was involved in it, and Steve really took a look at these numbers and not only looked at the cost of operating the equipment, but also the capital cost of purchasing our street sweeper and also replacing that street sweeper. We think we've captured that in there for street sweeping and also for the jetpack. That service that was more of an informal agreement that we provided that for them over the years whenever they requested just to assist them. We wanted to memorialize that so we have it in place whenever they do request that we have it in the agreement. And again, that's one that we think is reasonable based on operating and capital costs of that equipment. Usually the jetback is done through Public Works. They have the old jetback that the sewer department no longer utilizes, and they use it for more Public Works sort of things, cleaning versus the sanitary sewer. So it's actually the older piece of equipment that usually does that.
Councilman Hall, you have a comment?
I'll pass.
Thank you, John.
Well,
Any further discussion on any resolution? See, roll call?
Councilwoman Albrecht.
Yes.
Councilman Carey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Hall.
Yes.
Councilman Riley.
Yes.
Mayor Patillo.
Yes. Personnel change or non-communications, April 18th, 2025. Any discussion? Seeing none. This brings us to our second public portion. Does anyone in the public wish to be heard on any topic? Please come to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Mr. Kloska, anything?
Quick question, I was gonna pass by. This is jetback sweeper is a big piece of equipment. Do we have a large flatbed truck that we transport this to Netcom on?
It's a truck mounted vehicle with a back, on the back of the chassis.
I'm sorry?
It's one unit, it's one chassis, one unit. The vacuum is mounted on the truck.
it's driven.
It's
No,
not
not the
a trailer.
vacuum, the sweeper.
The street sweeper is self-propelled.
So we drive it all the way to Netcom?
Yes.
Correct.
Do we clean on the way to NECON?
Yeah. You seen a
We don't
It
clean
depends.
it.
Lots of state
Depends
routes.
where it is, right, state road.
Very interesting, you never saw one driving down the road like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Closed public. We have an executive session tonight? Well then, I'll move to adjourn. There you go, second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, everyone.